Nathan isn't the only one working hard. Every other driver at that track is working hard to win that race. Every crew guy is staying up late, wrenching on it, fixing it, making it better, so he can go out there and be better.
I think when you hear the sound of the engine, when you see the cars running around the track, every driver's got different personality and character, and from all over the world, and that's what Indianapolis is. It's a melting pot of all these people, and that energy gets created from the start of the engines through the month of May.
His determination and his work that he's willing to do to get where he needs to be is impressive. When he wasn't at pit fit, he'd go out there and he'd work out in the gazebo. I have seen the change, the physical change in him from all of this working out he does.
If I'm not ready, when the knock comes on the door, when the time comes, I'm gonna be left behind, and that's not an option. So I have to train, I have to work hard, I have to work harder than the other people around me. I have to put in the work even if I don't want to put in the work. I have to push myself to the point where, like, okay, I want to throw up, but I can't throw up, but I'm gonna push anyways. And if I'm not doing that, other guys are getting better, I'm getting worse, I'm not improving, and some other guy's gonna get the opportunity that I wish I would have had if I just worked just that little bit harder.
Can I get a picture?
Yeah.
Here, take it.
Hurry up.
If you want to see, thank you. If you want to see anything I do on, just follow me on social media, Nathan J. Bird on everything. So YouTube, everything like that. So to me, it's sort of inevitable in a sense. So I'm just waiting for my time, waiting for my turn, and I just know it's going to happen sooner or later. So I'm not too worried. I think the Indy 500 is, or at least making the Indy 500, for me would be a stamp of approval on my dad's vision and the vision that I've now adopted as my own, which is you don't necessarily need the road to Indy in order to get to the 500. And that's sort of what we've been trying to prove. And if we can prove that, that's sort of like, if we get there, that sort of proves the entire vision. It proves us right, in a sense. We're here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're running the SBRA weekend that happens here every single year. And we're here running the AFL1, the S5000 car, and the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car. And we're just running test day today, just getting the feel for the cars, getting the setup dialed in a little bit more.
I've never raced. I can't tell Nathan what to do in a race car. I've never worked on race cars. I've never engineered race cars. I can't tell the crew guys how to do their job. My role primarily is to provide the global perspective of everything that's happening and to make sure that everybody is remembering all the information that is useful to create the optimal platform for the race.
Got finished up with Group 9 Race 2 in the AFL1, and it was a really good race. Finished first by like 18 seconds. That wasn't really the point. The point was to get better as a race car driver so I can race here again, hopefully one day in an Indy car at the same hallowed grounds where it's just awesome to be at such a legendary track. And honestly, just being able to compete here is such a blessing, and I thank God for it every single day. We're about to hop in the Porsche. We're about to have a lot of fun. The guy that I was competing against for P1 dropped out, had a mistake in race 1, so hopefully I can just secure another first place finish and get ready for the Enduro. We're going to race the AFL1 again. Had a lot of people over the course of my development as a race car driver essentially tell me that you have to trust the process. My dad, and knowing that he has things sort of under control, he gives me that sense of like security that like no matter what happens, like we're still on the path. This particular race weekend isn't going to make him break.
Nathan, come on up. Nathan Gerd in the 88.
Drivers from a diverse background, guys that have a lot of karting experience, guys that have no karting experience, guys from all over the country, all over the world come in, and it's one of those things of if you want to be a race car driver, you got to figure out how to get behind the wheel and get driver development time and get seat time, and a lot of that in a lot of places is extremely expensive, and that's one of the reasons why we've tried to do some of the classes that we do is it provides a cost-prohibitive way to try and get some seat time at a younger age.
Get it loaded, and I start to touch throttle now. Partway through the first run, and that on this set, in the second session, it was quite a bit better once I got once I could touch throttle.
Okay. But my first thing that I wanted to do was sort of pick his brain. Like this is always my default mode is just pick good race car drivers' brains about how they're driving cars, and there were some things that I wanted to talk to him about in terms of driving technique and like just sort of connect to each other on a driver-to-driver basis. I think your best lap was the 30.8. So this was you probably waiting in false grid for test 1, right?
Yeah.
And then you went out.
Yeah, that was
okay. It's building these relationships with drivers like Ross Chastain and James Davison, who's raced the 500 for us like 3 times. He's been probably one of the most important roles in terms of my development as a driver. He's coached me up on multiple weekends.
Then when you brake wider and longer, you can adjust it as you're coming to the apex. You're like, oh shit, I haven't got enough brake, or I've got too much, and you can just do a small little increment and not overslow it.
He's seen my development and progress as a race car driver. He's made statements to the effect of like, yeah, I think you can be a proper like professional race car driver, and he sees that potential in me. He's seen my growth, and he's the kind of guy that really knows what he's talking about. We connect on a deeper level on multiple occasions of driving technique, but also personally. And I really respect and admire him as a race car driver, and I honestly think he's one of the most underrated drivers in the world. Like, there's not going to be I'm not going to get punished from like crashing the car if I just like try to roll a bit more mid-speed.
Don't worry about these tires. Just go out there and drive.
Yeah.
See where the limit is. Go crash. See where
22.7 and backed it up with a 22.9 with traffic. The path that Nathan is on is one that's filled with new challenges all the time. Whether it's running multiple cars at the same track on the same night, showing up to race at a track that he's never raced before and expected to perform.
I think during this stage of my career, or at least the past 3-4 years where I've just been developing as a race car driver, I think having him at the tracks and sort of pushing me and setting expectations, that's the biggest thing that he does. He sets expectations. Well, he always pushes me just a little bit farther than even I think I can go, and I think that's good. That's been good for my development. And when I fall short of that, he makes sure that I know that. But when I achieve those goals, he always gives me the pat on the back, the congratulations, like, okay, let's work on the next one.
Looked like your second lap would have been faster if you hadn't gotten held up.
It might have just matched it. I wasn't held up too terribly.
Well, I mean, you had to compromise turn 7 and 8 a little bit. And kind of even coming onto the front straight.
That was more.
Yeah, and you only missed it by 2. You only were 2/10 off on your first lap, so that was good.
Even being able to blast down the front straight on the road course at Indy, I mean, you get some time to really take in the grandstands, the awe-inspiring nature of the place that you're racing at, every single lap, every single moment, and the fact that I get the blessing and opportunity to be able to even race at the same location is amazing and such a wild thing to even consider. And hopefully I'll be able to race there in a couple years, going the other direction, not just on the road course, but on the oval.
A big test, and I think we're almost 100% going to have to take some caster out, because it's going to be basically 3 back-to-back sprint races. Yeah. It's going to be race 1, pit stop, race 2, pit stop, and then race 3, essentially. Yeah. So I'll have 5 minutes of rest, so half, like 2 minutes of that rest is going to be me getting out of the car and getting back in the car, and like maybe handing jugs.
Definitely has a lot of talent. And he has great work ethic, and he's definitely dedicated to what he has going on, and whatever program he's on at that time, he's going to be fully involved in it. If he's able to keep learning as quick as he has these first couple years, that he shouldn't have a problem getting to where he wants to be.
He wants me to win Group 9.
What?
He wants me to win Group 9, but he gets the win because he's a Group 9 loss.
I saw Stewart coming. I left a little lane for him because we played this game before.
I don't see a big benefit in running any series where you only get 7-8 weekends a year. There's too much downtime in between those races. It's just like when kids get out of school for the summer, they forget everything by the time they go back to fall. It's very similar being in a race car. So I think continuing to keep him behind the wheel is only going to make that even more possible.
Sometimes there's great value in not winning the races that you should have won. You can see it as a missed opportunity when that doesn't happen, but sometimes there is when you look at the big picture, the things that you take away are the moments where you didn't perform and you didn't get the result that you know you could have and should have, and that becomes a massive motivating factor.
It is a point now where everything that he's done is for a reason, but with the timeline that we don't have time anymore to race these lower level series when we need to start turning the wick up on his commercial viability. Anybody that looks at his resume is gonna be impressed at how much he's raced, but they're not gonna care unless he is winning races with names that you know or series that you know. I think it's time for us to look into getting him some representation that's gonna give him that street credit, because David can't go to any of these team owners. They're just gonna see him as the dad that thinks his son's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
There is a little bit of a sense of urgency to the people we're involved with, to our partners, to those that have invested in Nathan, to make this happen. Everything that we're doing now, it's very focused, and it all has to result in anybody who's a decision maker, whether it's at the IndyCar series or for team owners or engine manufacturers or engineers or guys who will be responsible to be crew chiefs, that will look at Nathan and say, yes, we're good with him being one of these 33 guys that is going to run this race.
To see my own grandson race Indy someday, I wish his grandfather was here to see it. But that'll be fun. It really will be fun.